Okay, we're going to start. Ready or not, here we go. There's cups over there. Okay, we have a sponsor this week, Roy Akirov, in memory of his uncle David Ben Musli. We should have Aliyat Nishama. Guys, you ready? Yes. Yeah, Mizunot. Okay, guys, we're going to start. The booklets are over here if you want one. A little bit of an interesting topic tonight. If you remember the story, we'll say it again. Let me get Gemara, page 1. The Gemara we're talking about before Hanukkah, we're talking about Kiddush in the place of Seudah. You have to have Kiddush in the place you're going to eat. And the Gemara brought a couple of stories from rabbis about this. And so there's an interesting piece on these two stories that leads to a little bit of a side discussion that I wanted to maybe talk about.
It became relevant last Shabbat.
Why?
Because we were fasting. I asked the rabbi, I said, make a kiddush.
Very good.
Just have some cookies or something.
What did he say?
He said, do it unofficially, but so they set up when we did it. Because I got to walk 25, 40 minutes.
That's perfect. So it comes into play. So yeah, so the question is, what do you have to eat to justify the kiddush? Which we'll get to next week. Okay, so ready? Okay, you ready? The doctor can't not be a doctor. He has to be a doctor. Yeah. Okay, here's a couple of stories. Rabbi Hanan Banta Halifa says, we're starting right now. Zimnin, remember the topic we were talking about? Kiddush in the place of Seudah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go into a little side discussion today from these stories. Zimnin Sagi'in, it's in the red box. Zimnin Sagi'in, Havaka'imna Kamed Shmuel. Sometimes I was in front of Shmuel Friday night on the roof, and it was time to eat. He didn't do Kiddush on the roof. He made sure to do Kiddush downstairs, where the food was, not on the roof, and then go downstairs. He would only do the Kiddush downstairs. Even Rav Huna, Sabad and Kiddush ilam kum seudah. There's a story about Rav Huna that proves you the same concept. That Rav Huna Kaddish. One time, Rav Huna made Kiddush, v'it'akera le'sharga, and his candle blew out in his house. Right after he did Kiddush, the candles blew out. What did he do? He brought all of his stuff. He grabbed the dish, the food, the chalent, whatever it was, the hamim, and he went to his son's house, Rabbah. And he said, I'm going to go eat over there. I'm not going to eat in my house. There's no light. Because there was candles over there by his son's house that were still burning. Kaddish, and he did Kiddush over there. Midi, and he ate over there. Okay, interesting. On the basic level, it's just a story that he made sure that his Kiddush was in the place of his meal, and the candle blew out. He couldn't eat in the dark. And so he went. Another story. Ve'af Rabbah also, Sabad in Kiddush ilam kum seudah. The Amar Abaye says, Ki havina be'emar, when I was at Rava's house, Ki hava mekadesh, when he did Kiddush, and I was there, let's say the yeshiva boys were there Friday night, and after Kiddush, they were going to go home. Ki hava mekadesh, after he did Kiddush, Amar lan, he told me, Te'imu midi, make sure you eat something over here at my house, even though you're going to go home for dinner tonight. Dilma ad azlitu le'ushpiza, maybe by the time you get to your hotel or wherever you're staying, with akira lechu sharga, the candle that they lit will be burnt out. You'll get there too late. V'lo mekadesh lechu bebet achila, and you won't be able to do Kiddush in the place where you're really supposed to eat. And if you don't eat over here, you won't be yotzei my Kiddush. You're not yotzei my Kiddush here unless you eat something. Okay? So these stories really were brought to prove that all the rabbis agreed that you have to do kiddush in the place of seudah. But there's something interesting about both these stories that the Mordechai and a couple of other Rishonim like the Rosh and the Rif are going to pick apart and try to learn a halacha out of it. What do these stories have in common? Candles burning out. Who cared? Why is the Gemara telling us the candle blew out, so he left? He said, eat over here because maybe when you get home, the candles are going to be out. Who cares about the candles? And so on a basic level, you're not going to eat if it's dark. There's no electricity back then. If there's no candles, it's pitch black. How are you supposed to eat? And if you look over here, Rashi says, yeah. I didn't share it. Hold on. Okay, you got it? Okay, Beza, are you with me? And so there's a little detail in each of these stories. What's with all the candles? Mitzvah. Very good, very good. So look at Rashi. Rashi says, Dilma, and Mitzvah means you're suffering, you're not comfortable. So Rashi says, Dilma mit akira lechusharga. Maybe the candle's gonna burn out. So Rashi says, Velo tochilu. You're not gonna eat with no light. Like Ezra said, you're not gonna eat if there's no candle. Va'afilu ata can't see it. Va'afilu atem holchim lishon bilo achila. And you can go and eat. You can go to sleep with no food. And so Rashi says very clearly. So just to catch you up, there's a story about the rabbi Abaye. Abaye was at Rabba's house. And Rabba did kiddush, and Rabba said to Abaye, eat at my house kiddush. Why? Because maybe when you get home, the light's going to be blown out in your house. It's going to be too late, and you're not going to eat with no light from the candle. So, Rashi says very simply, if there's no candle, lo tochilu, you're not going to eat. The question is why? The question is why. You're not going to eat because a normal person wouldn't eat if it's dark? Or is the Gemara making a Pesach halacha? You may not eat your Friday night meal without the candles. That's the question.
The other way to look at it is you can only make kiddush where there's a candle.
Same thing.
Candlelight dinner.
Or is it just we're telling the story? When you get home, it's because the candle's going to be out. I know you're not going to eat in the pitch black, and so eat over here. Is it just like a part of the story? Or is it halacha? No, you can't eat if your candle's out. That's the question. You know the question? So if you look at,
but it's a different qualification if you say you have to eat where the candle is.
That's the question. Is it a halacha? You have to eat where the candle is, and if you have no candle, you can't eat? Or is it just part of the story? I know that you're mitzvah, like Ezra said, you're not comfortable without light. And so therefore, I'm telling you to eat over here. Look at the next page, page 18, which is page 2 of the pamphlet. The Tu Shulchan Aruch says straight out, in hakidush talui bener. Kiddush has nothing to do with the light. She'imi ratzeh le'echol b'choshech. If you want to eat in the dark, yachol lekadesh belo ner. Eat in the dark. It says very, very clearly. V'chen katav Gaon, and so says the Gaon. If the candle is in your house burning, but you're not comfortable in the house, you want to go eat outside the house or on the roof, are you allowed to leave and eat without the candles? Says the Tur in the name of the Gaon. Make kiddush wherever you want, even if there's no candles. Even though you don't see the candle. Now remember, maybe 3 weeks ago, before Hanukkah, we talked about when you do kiddush, you should look at the candles because it's good for your eyesight. But that's for the fu'ah. Now we're talking halachically. Halachically, says the Tur straight out, that you don't have to do kiddush in the place where your candle is, which means the story, according to the Tur, the story in the Gemara where he said, hey, maybe you'll get home and the candles will be blown out, it's not halacha. It's just a normal person would not want to eat in the dark. However, look at the Beit Yosef, and it's in red. Ve'ena kiddush talui bener, says the Tur, says on this the Beit Yosef. This is in Resh Perek Arbe Pesachim, the Gemara we just read the page before. Amasha katavti b'samuch, I just wrote about this, says the Beit Yosef. The Amar Abaye says, Ki havina be'emar, when I was at Rabba's house, V'kulu, and the whole story where he told me, do kiddush with me, because when you get home, the light's going to go out. Dilma mit'akira lechu sharga, because when you get home, maybe your candle's going to be blown out. V'lo mitkadosh lechu, and you're not going to do kiddush at home with no light. V'lo mit'achil lechu, you're not going to eat. Katav harosh, the Rosh writes, yesh rotzim lehavi ra'aya mikan. Some people want to bring a proof from this gemara. She'en mekadeshin ela le'on haner. You have to make kiddush by the light of the candle, says the Rosh, from a proof from this story. How do they explain what he was saying? Maybe when you get home, the light will go out, which means it'll be asur for you to eat Friday night since you have no more light. So the Rosh writes this. Some people want to bring a proof. Says the Beit Yosef, Veleta, no way. The Haki Pirush, this is what the story means. It's just a story. It's just a story. I know you won't eat without a candle. If you want to eat in the dark, go ahead and eat in the dark. I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just telling you I know what you're going to do. You're not going to eat. Remember, no electricity. Pitch black. You're not going to eat in the dark. So eat over here.
Not necessarily. If you run in Shabbat early, right?
If they rush Shabbat early, yeah. But he said by the time you get home, which means he must have been a walk away. He was probably in the yeshiva or the rabbi's house. Not like the Mordechai. The Mordechai writes from here. The Mordechai writes a psak halakha. You have to do kiddush with the candle in the same room. You can't light your candle in the living room, says the Mordechai, and do kiddush in the dining room if you can't see it. The Rosh disagrees with this, but there are those who prove from this gemara. Yeah.
There's two parts to it. There's, I can't make differentiation. Is it talking about light, or is it talking about the Ner Shabbat?
It's an excellent question. Before I answer it, what do the other guys have to say about that? It's actually a very simple but excellent question. Is it talking about the light of the Shabbat, a light, or the Shabbat candle? What do you think the answer? Yossi, what's the answer? The answer really is, if you think about it, why can't all light be your Shabbat candles? From the letter of the law. The purpose of Shabbat candle. Very good. We'll talk about that also. But on a very basic reason, why do we light Shabbat candles? He's a liberal, yeah. Judaism is liberal. On a basic level, why do we light Shabbat candles? Why do we do Shabbat candles? Why? To bring it. Why? It says in the Torah to do this? Shalom Bayit. That's how we do it.
So that husband can see his food.
So you don't, when hot soup doesn't spill all over you. Where's my son? So hot soup doesn't spill all over you. He has a poor guy.
Maybe there's ice.
You want ice? He spilled it on him. Imagine there was no light. And so therefore, all right, he'd rather me not have done that. He's all right. You okay? He's all right. So the reason why we have light and Shabbat candles is for this reason. And so you don't spill something on yourself. You don't bump into your wife. It's for Shalom Bayit. And so why can't Shalom Bayit be the electricity in the roof? I'm not saying this is psak halakha. I'm just offering it to you. As long as you have light, which means you're not going to bump into each other, you should really be yotzeh, no?
It's got more to it.
So you have a Kabbalistic thing, like he said, bring in Shabbat. But there is a reason for the lights of candles. It's Shalom Bayit. That's the reason.
That's a original reason?
That's the reason. The main reason. Yeah. Is that a good thing to do, or is that like? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Yeah.
So it makes all the difference.
It doesn't make. It's the same thing. It's Shalom Bayit. It's Shalom Bayit. Like you're saying.
So what if you're not? What if you're not married?
Such a grandpa.
You still need the candlelight?
That's a great question.
You're single. You need candlelight.
So candlelight.
Good question. Once you have a takana, you have a takana.
It's become much more than candlelight.
Yeah, that's the real reason. Yeah. Okay, ready? We're gonna have all these halachot, guys. We're in the Beit Yosef over here. Mordechai says, Look in Perek Lemem Belekin in Shabbat Perek 2, which is the halakha of candles in the first place. It says, Hadakat ner b'Shabbat chobah. It's an obligation to light candles on Friday night. And Katvu at Tosafot, look at Tosafot over there in Gemara Shabbat. Look at Rashi over there. Ve'amordechi, Pirush, sarich le'echol b'makom ha'ner. It's straight out. You have to eat where the light of the candles are. V'chinami, Pirush Rashi. Look at Rashi also. Umiu. So therefore, says the Mordechi, you have to have the candles in the same room as the Shabbat. And so if there's no candles, you would not be allowed to eat. And in 2023, let's be generous and say if there's no light. If there's no light, you wouldn't be able to eat. Amen.
But what does it say candle? Not a torch or
That's
because back in the days they used to have these lanterns.
that would be okay for Shabbat candles. We're calling it near Shabbat.
You said ner.
Yeah.
Ner means
It means Shabbat
in
light.
the language. It's ner means light. It doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah.
it's candle.
Yeah, if you want to light a torch, the laws of Shabbat are not very strict when it comes to. Okay. Umiu, however, Katava Mordechai, after the Mordechai says Saka Halacha, that you cannot eat in the dark, he writes after that, what do I do? Rabbeinu Baruch Rabbeinu Baruch didn't follow this, he says. He would light inside and eat outside on the patio. Rabbeinu Simcha, what did he do? He did the same thing. Haram Gamkin. Also, the Haram writes the same thing. The Kobo Katab B'Shem Harav. The Hayu Davka the Bnei Eretz Ashkenaz. The Kobo says maybe you're talking about only for the Ashkenazim. She'ochlim mebe'odum, because the Ashkenazim taken Shabbat early, and so therefore there's light already, so they don't care where they eat, where the candles are not where the candles. Maybe the Kobo is trying to say maybe. About Keva Peshu, Kol Gidulei Sarfat, but all the French rabbis wrote She'en ochlim mebe'odum. You don't eat in the daytime. Yet the French rabbis brought in Shabbat later. So the Kobo is trying to say maybe the Sfaradim should be more strict. And they would require your candle because we eat later than Ashkenazim. He says, however, no. And it says in the bottom over here, like Ezra said. The whole point of the candles is for enjoying your meal, not to hurt you. And if you're not comfortable in the room where your candles are, then there's no more Oneg Shabbat there. You defeat the whole purpose of the candles. So you may as well go. If you're enjoying your Shabbat meal more on the porch, because of the fresh air, or because there's flies, let's say, in the house, go eat wherever you're comfortable, said the Bishop. But it's interesting that there are poskim who hold the halakha ma'aseh this halakha.
Quick question. So,
Yeah.
For the light, it's for the shiur, not for the same kiddush.
The kiddush is part of the seudah. Yeah, bless you. It's all correct. It's for the seudah, and the kiddush has to be with the seudah. Kiddush has to be at the place of seudah. If you do kiddush and you don't eat anything meaningful, you just have a sip of grape juice, you did kiddush in vain. You're not allowed to do that.
But if you go to see,
Yeah, so that'll connect you to the seudah. Yeah. Very good. So that's this very question. Do you have to see the light? Do you have to see the light or not?
That it's always best to have someone present to for like the Suda and for Kiddush, right? Because you're making like a statement of like creation, right? And can the light also?
I mean, the light. Let's be honest. The light connected to the meal is much less important than the kiddush connected to the meal. The kiddush connected to the meal is a halakha straight up. Gemara. The light connected to the meal is like an inference they're drawing from a story. So,
But by the way, I don't know if it's part of it, but the person making the kiddush has to drink, however much he has to drink. Does anybody else have to drink? Or
great question. It's on the list as well. Not for tonight though. But we're gonna get there. Very good. All this stuff, we're gonna touch all this. We're gonna get all this within the next couple weeks. In terms of what you're saying about having a person there, that is a law regarding seudah that we'll get to next week in the gemara. It's straight out in the gemara that we'll get to next week. Having a person there, there's a reason to do that as well. I'm going to ask you to. It's a good question, but it's not a perfect question. Because I'm going to ask you right back, what does it mean, Yotzeh? What does that mean, Yotzeh? What does that mean, Yotzeh? Like he's saying that you don't have to do it anymore? You have a seudah, you want to eat or no? You want to eat seudah? If you want to eat seudah and he's doing kiddush, better, sure.
Right, but so I have something small. I go make kiddush to my wife.
Where? Here, in the same place. That's a different question. Okay. If the rabbi is drinking kiddush here and you want to eat here, you're going to have bread. You're going to have bread. But you don't want to drink the wine?
Well, you drink a little wine.
Meikar adin, you don't have to drink the wine. Yeah. If the rabbi makes kiddush and you don't want to drink the grape juice, you just want to go straight to the bread, it's okay. But he agrees. Even Friday night. Even Friday night. Even Friday night. Yeah. We're going to open all these laws up. Even. Order in the court. Meikar adin, just to address this and then move on, we will get to this. It's all on the list. We have a lot to do over the next few weeks. From the Ikad Halakha, you really don't have to drink Friday night of the Kiddush. I know they make sure everyone drink from the. If you didn't drink Friday night, you're Yotzeh Kiddush. As long as the person that had Kiddush drank it. We'll get to it all. Okay. Shulchan Aruch. So what do we do? Before this, we brought the Tur, and the Tur said, Kiddush has got nothing to do with the candles. The Bet Yosef on the Tur says, well, the Mordechai held, it's not Yotzeh if you didn't place that light. What does the Bet Yosef himself hold in his Rishon? Yeah, his Rishon. In Yeshiva, they call him the Mordechai. It's spelled Mordechai. We used to call him Mordechai. Okay? And now, Shulchan Aruch himself, which means the Bet Yosef himself, in his own book, he writes as follows on page 19. Some people say you only could do Kiddush if there's light. So he's giving credence to that opinion of the Mordechai. And other people say, nah, the Kiddush has nothing to do. What's the halakha? Yesh veyesh. If you have yesh omrim and veyesh omrim, halakha is always like the veyesh omrim. And so, right, the ve. Yesh veyesh, halakha ke veyesh. And so, therefore, the second opinion would be halakha l'maaseh. Good. Veyesh omrim she'en kiddush levened. So, therefore, that's the halakha l'maaseh. It has nothing to do with the ned. Ve'im hu neheneh bechatzed yoted mepnei ha'avir o mepnei ha'zivuvim. If you rather not eat in the house with the lights, you rather get outside in the dark because it's better air or there's no flies, do whatever makes you happy. Even though you don't see the candles, guys, the whole point of the candles is to enjoy Shabbat, enhance your Shabbat, not to make you suffer. The Hachim Mistabara says it makes a lot of sense to hold like this. So therefore, halakha is not like the Mordechai. While we're talking about the candles, I thought to myself, I bet there's a lot of people that have mistaken maybe halachot about the candles. Let's just do some candle stuff. Hafa Haim on this says, "V'yesh omrim she'en kiddush talui benet, ken katav maharam v'chama gedulim v'chen agu be'eretz Ashkenaz." The Ashkenazim agree with this. That has nothing to do with the candles. Abam in Pirush Rashi, but if you look at Rashi, the Tosafot, like we read from the Bet Yosef, and Tosafot, ush'al gedulim, a lot of great rabbis. Mashma dehavia berachal batala. It seems from them that it's a berachal batala if you did kiddush without seeing the candles. Ve'alken yesh le'achmir, and therefore you should try to be strict and try to always have the candles of Shabbat within eyesight of wherever you're going to eat the Shabbat meal. Who writes this? The Bach, Bayit Hadash. Ne'eh pashut. This seems simple. The dafka bebayit aher, that when we're talking about another person's house, you should make sure you see the candles when you eat. About be'oto abayit, if you're in your own house, and kifida, it doesn't matter if it says the kafahim. If it's in your own house, it doesn't matter where the candles are, as long as the candles are in your house. At the end of the day, says the kafahim, if you have candles anywhere in your house, you're going to benefit from those candles throughout the course of Friday night. So don't worry about it. Okay. And he said, look before what I wrote. I wrote before a reason with Hashem's help. To have the candles in front of your eyes when you do kiddush, like we said last time, it's good for your eyesight. Says the Kafahayim further, Mem Zayin. The whole point of the candles is for enjoyment, not to hurt you. We're talking about when you're suffering a lot, staying in the house. If you're not suffering that much, stay where the candles are. So there is a concept of trying to fulfill as a minion. Okay, if you do kiddush where the place of the candles and have a little drink of wine or have a little bit of food, and then afterwards, you want to go outside, that's also good, because at least you did the kiddush in the place of the candle. Omnam says the Kapayin, however, Kabbalistically, the Arizal and the Zohar HaKadosh say, gotta eat the whole Friday night meal with the candle in the room. Therefore, if you want to do it on the roof or outside, from whatever reason, put the candles outside if you know you're going to eat there. Put them inside of a glass lantern so they don't blow out, and they should be seen. So therefore, we have the Mordechai who holds you have to do kiddush by the candles, and then we have the Arizal and the Zohar HaKadosh who say Kabbalistically, eat your Shabbat meal by the candles. So when on the table, yeah, we don't do it. So therefore, when it comes time to lighting candles in your house, think about this. Maybe some people don't light in the dining room. It's important to light in the dining room. Shulchan Aruch, Resh Samach Gimel. That's what it's saying. Yeah, you should see it. You don't have to. It's kosher if you didn't. No, not on the table. No, I want to be able to move things around on my table.
That's safe.
Not safe, also.
But that's
the main reason for me. Yes.
You just have a dining table, you don't even have the little light.
Yeah.
But things in Morocco, like they used to light outside, like that little.
Who?
You would not probably.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for that. Yeah. I knew that was going to be a comment about Moroccans. I don't know. In Morocco, they lit outside.
It's like in front of their like door, right? Okay.
Hanukkah, Shabbat, they did that.
Hanukkah, they do that this law.
Yeah, because I thought it was.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I'm with him. I've learned already. When someone says Morocco, I'm like, I don't know, whatever. They got some Ashkenaz, some blend. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know. I would love to figure that out. I'll have to ask our local Moroccan.
My wife's not.
Your wife is Moroccan?
Absolutely.
Could you ask her if this is true? Shalom Bayit.
maybe the candles.
All right. So that's good. Okay, ready? Shulchan Aruch further. Mi v'mi hamadlikim v'im ta'ub yom ha'yonah. Okay, Yehezahi, it says the Shulchan Aruch, page 20. Yehezahi la'asot ner yafeh. Make the candle nice. V'yesh mechavinim la'asot shetef petilot. Some people make 2 wicks. Ehad keneged zachot, v'ehad keneged shamot. Who asked me this last time? No, hold on. It's coming. Hold on. Who asked me this last time? Is it mandatory to have 2 candles? It's not mandatory to have 2 candles. It's a minhag to have 2 candles. One for Shamur, one for Zachor. Okay. Rama, Haga, Rama. V'yecholim le'osif u'ladik gimel odal nerot. Says Ashkenaz, Ezra. You can add more candles, Ezra, Ashkenazi over here. You can add more candles, says the Rama. 3 or 4. V'chein nagu, that's the custom. Hayisha sheshachha pa'am achat, says the Rama.
Oh, actually, that's a thing. I mean, I know they do that. I didn't realize
The forget thing or the adding thing?
the forget one. and
Yeah,
add
check
one.
it out.
You forgot.
You don't want to make too many because then you want people to think it's hungry.
Very true. I was thinking about another holiday, but Hayisha, check out this. This is the Rama. Ready? Guys, what we're reading now is not halakha l'maaseh. It's Ashkenaz. If you're Ashkenaz, it's probably halakha l'maaseh. Hayisha sheshachha pa'am achat lehaldik. It should say lehalika, no? A woman who forgot to light. It works for both. A woman who forgot one time to light. Madleket kol yameha gimel nerot. Penalty. If she forgot one time to light, penalty for the rest of your life. You have to light 3 candles now.
Oh, but I thought they add one for each time they forget.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
it's just one penalty for all the time.
Well, that's one penalty for the first transgression. I think they add for
I've
each
seen
time.
people every time they forget, they add more than like 3.
There should be a maximum penalty limit. Like Yalev Yavo, if you get it twice, you don't do it a third time. Like, you go there to the lady's house with 15 candles lighting. I mean,
Wait, so Shabbat was that I get that, but if you are a single lady, you have to be right.
no, you always Shemon Zachor. That's the custom. But the obligation is 1. If you did 1, it's kosher. We're going to do all these laws. We're going to do all these laws. Give me. Ki יכולים להוסיף, we'll get there. כי יכולים להוסיף על דבר המכוון נגד דבר אחר. Okay, so this is what the Rama writes. Penalties for the Ashkenazim. If you forget, you got to add 1 each for the rest of your life. You know how many people ask me this question? Yeah, no, so many ladies. I forgot to light. Do I have to light another one for the rest of my life? Does it sound sephardic?
No.
אחד האנשים ואחד הנשים חייבים להיות בבתיהם נר דלוק. Whether you're a man or a woman, there has to be a candle in your house for Shabbat. אפילו אין לו מה יאכל, שואל על פתחים. Even if you have no food, you have to beg. ולוקח שמן ומדליק את הנר, שזה בכלל עונג שבת. You must light a candle, 1 candle on Shabbat. הנשים מוזהרות בו יותר. This is a special mitzvah for women, more than men. מפני שמצויות בבית, because they're in the house. ועוסקות בצורכי הבית, and they're always busy with the house. ואם אין ידו משגת לשבת לקידוש היום, if you don't have enough money, as the guys over there said, for kiddush and for the candle, ner Shabbat kodem, the candle comes first. וכן, אם אין ידו משגת לקנות בנר שבת לחנוכה, if you don't have Shabbat or Hanukkah, ner Shabbat first. Why? Because Shabbat is for Shalom Bay, right? Famous Rambam. Okay, next one. Kaf HaHaim, number 10, love. אחד האנשים, men and women both have to light candles. וחייב כל אדם כשאוכל סעודת הלילה לאוכלה אצל עולה נר. Here he goes again. Everyone has to eat the meal in vision of the candles. שזה בכלל עונג שבת. That's how you enjoy your meal. בעיקר מצוות הדלקת נרות הוא נר זה שאוכל אצלו. This is the main עונג שבת, is the candles should be where you eat, by candlelight dinner. Okay, and he said before, the Mekubalim are big on this. Well, it makes sense, logically. Oneg Shabbat, enjoy what? Enjoy what? The bathroom? Like, no, enjoy the meal, right? Ner Shabbat, what are we reading now, guys? Ben Ish Hai. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Ben Ish Hai is not halakha l'ma'aseh as far as where I come from. I don't know about you guys. So, hold off. This is not halakha l'ma'aseh. We got to give Hacham Vadia Yosef a chance. Ner Shabbat, says the Ben Ish Hai. Ha'hiyud min adin hu ner echad. The obligation is 1 candle. Ach api hasod, but kabbalistically, tzarich le'adlik shete nerot. Echad keneged zachor, ve'echad keneged shamor. 2 candles. Gam od, hem keneged shnei hahin d'shem havaya baruch hu. Also, therefore, the 2 heys and yud and hey and vav and hey, each candle is for 1 hey. Shem sod bina u'malchut, which is the kabbalistic midot of bina and malchut. She'oleh misparam 563, which is like the minyan neheneh meziv shekhinah, benefiting from the radiance of the Shekhinah. So we have Kabbalistic aspect of it. Those who are careful of mitzvot, they make 7 candles. My mom used to light 7 candles for many years until one day we stopped her from doing it. When I got older, I went to yeshiva and Right, we stopped. She used to do 7, but not because 5 kids. Not because of this reason. Because she had 5. We had 5
Oh,
kids.
yeah, that's another one. They put one for each person.
Yeah. But this is not that reason he's bringing here. Ben Shai says, the Olam says, the world says the reason for this is Keneged Zayin Sefirot. The 7 Sefirot. The 7, what do you call Sefirot in English? I don't know. 7, give me a name. Realms. Hagat Nahim, which is Chesed, Gibrat, Eret, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. Hanimuzim Shavua, which is all part of the 7 in the week. But even if you light 7, still, when you get home, focus on only 2. It's good to light the 7, says the Ben Shai, but the real focus should be on the 2. One for Zachor and one for Jamor. Okay, next one. Ben Shai bet. The main lighting should be where you eat. That's where the woman should make the beracha. Still, the rabbi said you should light a candle in your bedroom. In the kitchen. Anywhere you're going in and out that night, there should be a candle. Imagine like 17 Shabbat candles. She lights all over the house with no beracha. And then afterwards, and then she goes to the table and she lights that one with a beracha, says the Ben Shai. If the man wants to light in his room as well, go ahead. But don't make a beracha.
You're not allowed to move the candle, right?
No.
So that's why there's
You can't move the candle.
Everywhere.
Right.
And
very good.
Back in the days, you could just move it.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. Since the woman already made a blessing on the candles on the table, you only make one blessing for the house. You have to beg if you don't have any money, God forbid. Now this is Hacham Yitzhak Yosef.
Is it possible that the story of the Gemara was hinting to the Kabbalistic vision of it?
Very possible.
And then
Very possible. I would say, in my tiny opinion, it's more possible. Yes, you got his question? I would say it's more possible that it's leaning Kabbalistically than it's leaning halachically. It's just because it's not a halacha. It's just a story. You're talking about 2 great rabbis. One rabbi says, hey, don't go home and eat in the dark. Why? Because probably a big Kabbalistic reason. Who said it's a halachic reason? 100%. Abaye was by Rabba's house. Rabba made kiddush. He said, hey, you should eat with my kiddush here. Have a piece of bread or something. Because when you get home, what if your candle's blown out? You're not going to eat in the dark.
What about, is there a time that the candles have to burn? Say, like 2 Shabbat candles, right? Use 1 gallon of oil. That's going to burn for a couple.
It's going to burn a very long time. It's okay to burn longer, obviously.
Yeah,
but there's really not a minimum. It's really not a minimum. The halakha brings it. I didn't put it in this pamphlet. The whole point is you want it to start lighting. You want it to be lit when Shabbat enters. So if you lit it a half hour before Shabbat, you just have to make it last long enough that it's lit when Shabbat enters. Okay, very good. Kisut Shulchan Aruch Yakut Yosef. This is halakha l'maaseh. Mitzvah le'alik et hanerot samuch l'shulchano. It's a mitzvah to light the candles in the dining room. Shesored alav b'Shabbat. Kadesh kadesh be'ochal le'oram. So you should do kiddush to the light of the candles and eat. V'zeh b'chal onek Shabbat. This is onek Shabbat. This is enjoying Shabbat. V'ikar mitzvah t'lakat hanot be'el Shabbat. Hi mechadesh ha'ochlim bo. The main mitzvah is in the dining room. U'meikar adin. And you don't have to light really anywhere else in the house besides for the dining room. The Ben Shai said you should. However, if you want to light in your room, light in your room also. You should be blessed, but you don't make a beracha. If it's more enjoyable for you to eat in the moonlight than in the candlelight, there's flies in the house. Do whatever makes you happy, because halakha l'maaseh is not like the mordichi. Even if you can't see the candles, the whole point is to enjoy. Below the tzad is the same exact words as Shulchan Aruch. But make sure you enjoy and benefit from the candles a tiny bit of time. So at least be in that room for a little bit that you lit the candles, otherwise you lit them for nothing. Further on.
Banish Chai doesn't even like entertain the other possibilities.
Banish Chai?
It doesn't mean that Banish Chai and Hakim Obadiah are
Banish,
against each other.
they are. Banish Chai is a halachic sefer.
But I'm saying he's just not mentioning.
Not mentioning it means he's not mentioning the other side. It means he doesn't hold of it. The Banish Chai is it's not a pirush. It's halakha. This book, the Banish Chai, was his speeches in shul. He used to speak, and this is halakha. He told the people. If he didn't mention it, it means he didn't agree.
But the other side,
he didn't agree.
if you hold by Banish Chai.
Yeah, if you hold Banish Chai, you have a whole different Judaism.
7 candles.
And Hadassim, and you have a lot of different. You have a whole different Friday night than yours. True Banish Chai people. They march around the table holding Hadassim. It's a whole different story. Okay.
You have seen them?
You've seen it? Me'ikan adin, from the letter of the law, in sarich le'alik b'chol hadrei habayit. You don't have to light in other rooms of the house. V'day le'alik b'heder shel chesham. It's okay if you just light in the dining room. U'befrat kayom, especially today, sheyesh hashmal b'sh'ar hadanim. There's electricity everywhere. And like we said in the beginning, who said electricity is not kosher for Friday night candles? Does it solve shalom bayit issues? Of course it solves shalom bayit issues. You have light in the room.
As long as you pay the bill.
Huh? What did he say?
As long as you pay the bill.
As long as you pay the bill. If you want to be strict and light in other rooms, you should be blessed. But you don't make a beracha. Some people, they lead a light in the hallway. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you won't bump into a chair or something. It's a good custom, but you don't have to. Okay. It does sound like a fire hazard. Back to the Banish Chai, and we'll do a couple more arguments. Banish Chai. Even if you eat on the roof, you like the moonlight on your table. You still gotta light the candles with the blessing in the house. Candles for Shabbat is not only for Shalom Bayit. There's also a sword. There's a Kabbalistic reason. So it's both of what we're saying. Whether you're a man or woman, you have to light candles. But it's a special mitzvah for the woman. She has a right. I like the way he says it over here. She has a right to do it. If you have a husband and a wife go to Bet Din, and he says, I want to light the candles Friday night, she wins the court case. It's a right of the wife to do it. If the husband says, no, I want to light the candles, you don't do it good, she can say, no, I don't let you light it, it's mine. However, same as everything else. If you want to light in the room, light in your room. It's a custom with the woman who gave birth that the husband makes the beracha on the lights when she just gave birth. For the first Shabbat after the birth. Have you heard this custom before? You heard this one? I never heard this one. Besides for the Banish Chai. I didn't do it. No, did not do it. No. טוב שהבעל יעסוק בערב שבת בתיקון הנרות, רבותיי. Yeah. טוב שהבעל יעסוק. This I don't do. It's hata'ayni maskir. I'm very bad at this. Yeah. טוב שהבעל יעסוק בערב שבת בתיקון הנרות. It's good for the husband to get the candles ready for her, prepare it. בהנחת השמן והפתילות. מפורש בדברי רבנו האריזל בספר הכוונות. The Arizal says this, וזה לשונו, these are his words. גם תזהר בתיקון הנרות של שבת. You should get them ready for your wife. אומנם הדלקת הנר, but the actual lighting, היא מצווה על האישה. היא מצווה על האישה בעלת הבית כנודע. That goes for her. But this is especially, you should do this. In Baghdad, he said the men set up the candles for the wife to do it. I should start doing that. I'm a bad husband. I should start doing it. You need to do it a little bit. Yeah. My father-in-law is good at this. Okay. In Kidesh velo Sa'ad, Af yedei kiddush lo yatsa. If you did kiddush and you didn't eat, you would say a kiddush. We know this. Rama, again says the Rama. V'tarich le'echol b'makom kiddush le'atar. Oshli v'dod al-chosham. I don't want to do this here. Let's save this one for next week. Let's finish up the candles. Says the Ben Ish Chai on page, I don't know, there's no page number. After the woman lights the candles, tekef umiyad tizrok miyada hapetila shemadleket ba'atanerot. She should throw the match out of her hand. Why? Why should she throw it?
Because of Shabbat.
Oh, because of Shabbat. This is the Ben Ish Chai's opinion. Ben Ish Chai is saying she accepted Shabbat with the lighting. And so let's, well, it's sephardic. He is sephardic.
Right.
The question is us. We'll do the One second. V'yesh tam. Hold on. Give me a chance to get there. Wait a second. Hey. V'taniach yada. Let the Ben Ish Chai finish. We'll get to it. I promise. We'll get to it. Tizrok miyada. Throw the match down. V'taniach yada alaneha. She puts her hands on her eyes. She closes her eyes, and then makes the blessing. Ben Ish Chai says the beracha. Whose wife does the beracha after the candles? Your wife goes after the candles? Ben Ish Chai, yeah? Your wife likes the beracha after the candles? When she eats an apple, what does she do? What's going on here?
What do you think? It's the same, by the way.
Hold on, I want to hear it. Hold on.
No, I don't know what you said.
Hold on. Okay, 1 second. Mordechai first.
What? You want to cover your eyes?
Mordechai. Yossi, we need you here. We want to hear Mordechai. Wait, Mordechai.
Then Shai said, after she did the candles, whatever she has in her hand, throw it.
Yeah.
For Shabbat.
Yeah.
So why throw it if she didn't make blessing on it?
Because very good. Very good. So it's actually we gotta get to this, guys. It's a massive mahloket.
That's why.
Some people hold. We're gonna get to it. Closes her eyes. She closes her eyes and makes the blessing. V'yesh tam, hopefully this week if we can. V'yesh tam api hasod. There's a kabbalistic reason ba'atzimat eneha, in her closing of her eyes dafka. Ota sha'a, at that moment, says the Ben Ish Chai. It's good to close her eyes. Ve'ahar siyum v'lecha, after she finishes the blessing, tiftach eneha, she should open her eyes. V'ted'eh zirihat or hanerot, and she should see the shining of the candles. V'pashyetut oran b'makomahu. Very nice. She should benefit from the candles. Where did you get this from? Look at the Rabbeinu Bachya. It's on the left side. Rabbeinu Bachya writes in Parashat Shemot. Ve'od she'haisha hatovah, the good woman, he sibal leTorah. She is the reason for the children to have Torah. Shehi yichola le'amshich et bena leBeit HaMikdash. It's her that pushes the kid to go to school. She's the one that's home. V'hi merachemet alav, and she has mercy on the kid. She pushes him constantly and encourages him to study. So if the boy grows up and becomes a ben Torah, he has a big debt of gratitude to his mom. Even when he gets older, it's her benefit. Therefore, says the Rabbeinu Bachya, she should pray dafka for this, that her kids should study Torah when she lights the candles. Hashem should give her sons that are enlightened Judaism, like the light of the candles, the light of the Torah. Her tefillah will be answered and heard more when she's in the middle of a mitzvah. And in the merit of this candle, Shu'od, which is light, tizkeh lebanim ba'alei Torah, hanekreet od. She'll have children who become lights. Shneimar, ki ner mitzvah v'torah od. And so the Torah is the od. And so give her sons the order of the Torah. V'chen dashur azal, ha'im deragil is gemara Shabbat. The Gemara says, ha'im deragil b'shargi, someone who's accustomed to have the candles of Friday night constantly. Habyan lebanim tamidei hachamim. The zechut is children who are scholars. Okay, we have to figure out the beracha before, the beracha after, what we're throwing the match, and all this stuff. Let's see Shulchan Aruch. Yalkut Yosef, halacha l'maaseh. If you're Sephardi, it's halacha l'maaseh. And you're not Iraqi, it's halacha l'maaseh. Mitzvah, and you're not Moroccan. If you're Iraqi, then you have a choice to make. Benish High?
Also Persian.
I know Iraqis that are 1,000% Benish High. You
None of the sounds familiar.
Also Persian.
Persians Benish High?
Less than like.
Because Iraq was part of Iraq.
Yeah.
No, so that's how he thinks.
My wife is Syrian. What?
My wife too.
Yeah. I'm Syrian. Yeah. No, Hacham Vadia is the way to go. Most of the Sfaradim, Hacham Vadia Yosef is halacha l'maaseh. Shulchan Aruch. That's what we're reading right now. Mitzvah midivrei sofrim. Anything from now on, you can take it home as halacha l'maaseh. Mitzvah midivrei sofrim le'alik ner be'erev Shabbat. It's a mitzvah from the rabbis to light candles. V'yezahiri mitzvah zu. Be careful with this mitzvah. V'la'asoto ner yafeh. Make it nice. The Amar Rav Huna says, haragil be'ner habyan lebanim tamidei hachamim. It gives you children that are scholars. V'ra'ui le'isha litpalel achar hadlaka. She should pray after she lights. She'Hashem yibarach yiten lebanim tamidei hachamim me'irim b'Torah. Just like the Benish High wrote. Just like the Ben Abachia wrote. He b'sha'at asiyat mitzvah hatefillah nishma'at yoter. That her prayers will be answered more when she's lighting. Meikar adin. Dai la'alik ner echad. You only need to light one candle l'chvot Shabbat. However, minhagenu le'alik lefachot sheten nirot. It's a custom to light at least two. Echad k'neged zechor ve'echad k'neged shamor. V'chol ha'marbeh menirot l'chvot Shabbat harei zeh meshubach. If you want to light more, beautiful, light more. Ve'yesh hanohagot le'alik shiv'a nerot. Some people light 7 or yoter or more. Ve'yesh madbikot nerot k'mispar hanefashot shel bnei habayit. Like my mom used to do. Some people light exactly like the family members. They would light the candles. וכשנולד ילד מוסיפים עוד נר. Be careful.
What about all the tzaddikim that they also like?
You don't have to though.
Before we go into the halakha,
Yeah, $10 question.
technical.
A technical question. Yeah.
If you make the bracha and then you light, the way you do it.
But we're gonna get to that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Your yotzeh with the first candle.
Yeah.
Right? That's the idea, right?
Yeah.
So now we're lighting the second one, Shabbat.
Who says that's Shabbat? Who says when Shabbat starts? When does Shabbat start? That's the question. That's exactly the question.
If you don't have in mind where you light the candle, it's Shabbat.
We're gonna get to it. Guys, let's read this halakha. This is first new Gimel. Yeah. Yeah. No. No. We're gonna read the halakha. Isha rega. Isha shenahagal halik. Why did I add all these laws in? Because these are questions I always get, so I may as well do it. Isha shenahagal halik be'erev Shabbat zayin nerot dekatahila. She used to light 7 candles every week. Inna le'afhit min mispar hanirot. Now she can't decrease. She has to keep doing it. If she wants to just start doing 2, because of finances or whatever, she should do hatarat nedarim, that I don't want to do 7 anymore. I just want to do 2. Okay? If she stops the custom one time, for example, she's in the hospital, she only had 2 candles, and she didn't have 7, then she doesn't need hatarat for that. That just happens. It's always good, anytime you start something, to always say Bilin Neder. You don't get into any messes like this. Okay. I know we all want the other question. We'll get it in a second. Tov she'aish, page 24. Tov she'aish ya'asok b'tikun hanirot shel Shabbat. It's just like the Ben Shai says, it's good for the husband to make the candles. She'aniach hanirot bepamut uchtuma. V'yesh noagim she'abal malik hanir belo beracha. Some people have a custom, the husband actually lights the candle without a beracha, u'mechabeh miyad, and he blows it out. Why? Because that helps it relight faster. Yeah, but be very careful. Don't light in the nighttime because then you lose it. Yeah. Yeah. If you do this, don't make a blessing on any of this. Okay. Let's say the husband lit a candle in his room and he made a beracha. Now the wife lost her beracha. You ruined it for your wife. Only one beracha in the house. And then then she can't do it anymore. Okay. Yud Dalet. Meikar halacha en choba klal al habanot haravakot hasimuchot al shulchan horehen le'adlik nerot Shabbat. From the halacha is single girls do not have to light Shabbat candles. U'me'olam lo nagu benot sephardim la'asot ken. This has never been a Sephardic custom that all the girls also light Shabbat candles. However, if they want to be pious, and they want to light candles in their own rooms, they can't do the beracha. Even for hinuch, they can't do the beracha. They can light without a blessing. Or they can hear the blessing from their mother. She's the main person when she does it, and they should answer amen, and then they could light without a beracha. For sure, if you have boys, single boys, why are you laughing? Your wife? Oh, shoot. Hold on, we'll get to her in 1 second. For sure, single boys, they cannot light with a beracha. Kala, let's just do 1 second. Yud Het. Kala hashobetet etel hamota. A daughter-in-law who's staying by the mother-in-law. Tricha hakala lehalik hanirot beracha becheder hashina shemiyachadim abora. She should light in her bedroom. Ve'hamot tebarich ala hadlaka shebecheder ha'ochel. And the mother-in-law lights with the blessing in the dining room. Also, if she's at her mom's house, they have a special room for them to sleep in. They do it in the bedroom. I don't do this because we would be thrown out of the house so fast if we lit in the room.
What if it's in the shul?
No, I didn't put that here, but no, not on the shul. The mother-in-law, the mother is the Akeret HaBayit. So when we go to my mother-in-law, I always tell my wife, don't light first. She's the Akeret HaBayit. She gets the beracha. Because if my wife would light first with the beracha, my mother-in-law should really lose her beracha. And she can make beracha l'batala. It doesn't matter. You now have the shalom bayit in the house. There's candles in the house. And so I always tell my wife, don't light first. Light second.
What if it's a communal? Let's say you have a place. This happens the whole time. But let's say you have a place. Like I said, you cannot light in the rooms. You have bedrooms. Yeah. It's a hotel.
If you can't light in the rooms, then light in the place. Then you light where you eat. You light where you eat.
So
I don't know. I want to look it up. I passed by those laws. If you say after, I'll find it over here. Okay, ready? Guys, 2 more halachot.
So the mother is over her daughter.
Yeah.
The daughter, like,
if the daughter would light first with the beracha in the dining room, how could the mother light with the beracha in the dining room?
no, not in the dining room, in the bedroom.
If she lights in her bedroom, that's for her. Then the mother can light in the dining room with the beracha. Yeah. But who's going to let someone light in the bedroom? Huh? It's dangerous. Yeah, this is for sephardim. Yeah. Yeah, this is for sephardim. Sephardim.
The mother can lie in her bedroom after she the daughter lies.
But it should be the other way around. It should be the daughter. The mother's the akirat habayit. She should be the one lighting.
The daughter is active about it.
Oh, then the daughter, the akirat habayit should light in the dining room. Let's just put it this way.
And then the mother.
Everyone else go in their room. In their room. Yeah. Let's do two more halachot. With the beracha. With the beracha. But if they both light in the dining room, no, only one beracha. Okay? Yeah, she doesn't have to light even. It's already lit. Okay, let's do the forget. Ezra. Yair. Ezra, this is the forgetting one. Ezra. Forgetting. Isha sheshachhat le'alik. If a woman forgot to light 1 week, do we do the penalty? V'gam ba'ala lo hadik, and her husband didn't light.
As long as we beat her up, it's all right.
Yesh omrim shemikaru lahaba selicha le'osif b'chol erev Shabbat nidosaf. Some people say she gets penalized and have one more candle every week. Yesh makilim hazeh al kol panim b'isha aniyah shetosif me'at shemen. She says, for some people say, no, just add a little more oil than you usually add if you can't afford it. V'chein isha she'ayta regila lahadlik bet or zayin nerot. If she lights 2 or 7, and 1 week she did less, some people say she should be penalized. Ubelav hachi. Doesn't matter, says the Chavadia. Bizman hazeh these days, yesh or hashmal. There's electricity everywhere. Daluk, bebayit. There's electricity. If you didn't light it, my wife used to freak out when we first got married. The first time she forgot to light, she freaked out. Oh my gosh, I forgot to light. I said, look at the beautiful light in the ceiling. We have light on Shabbat. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't feel bad. It's husbands. It's your job to make your wife relax. If she's stressed out, don't make her stressed out. They relax. We have candles. We have lights in the ceiling. What are you going to penalize someone for? She didn't light at all 1 week. The candles, the electricity is burning. She just lights normally from now on. Okay. What if she didn't do it on purpose and she didn't light candles? She's on strike. And then she does teshuvah, no penalty as well. You just, electricity counts. This is the big one, guys. This is the big one, literally and figuratively. Tzricha, what is the first word? Habiracha. Tzricha liyot. Kodem hahadlaka. Not like the Ben Ish Hai, not like the Ashkenazim. We hold almost every mitzvah, almost every beracha in Judaism, you bless and then you do. Yes. Or bel asiyatan is the word of the Gemara. You make a beracha on the shofar and you blow the shofar. You make a beracha on the lulav and you shake the lulav. Besides for mikveh and besides for washing your hands, what is another example of you make a beracha after you did the thing? Huh? That's no. That's not a beracha mitzvah. That's a beracha nehenim. You weren't neheneh yet. Hamotzi is before the bread. Hamotzi is for the bread. Yeah. Conversion. When do you make a beracha after you do the mitzvah? That's beracha nehenim. I'm not talking about nehenim. Thank you, berachas. I'm saying a beracha mitzvah. What beracha mitzvah?
Let me ask you a question. This happened. This happened once. My wife.
Before.
She wasn't able to get to the lighting in time. What you light? Can you light the candles for her and then make the bracha?
You do it. You make the beracha.
You just make the bracha.
I've done it so many times.
You don't.
By the way, this is important. It's not on the sheet. If your wife is running late, she's still in the shower. I'm going to make this a 2-part halakha. If she's still in the shower and there's no more time left, light the candles.
With the bracha.
You do it. Another one. This is my personal opinion. I'm going to add that because I didn't read this anywhere. I just think it makes a lot of sense. If it's in the 18 minutes, light it. Light it. Except Shabbat for the house already.
Better than light.
It'll be more shalom bayit if you let her enjoy her shower. Okay. Does anybody else have an example of a mitzvah that we do, not a benefit beracha for eating, a mitzvah that we make a beracha after the mitzvah? No, that's for benefit. It's a thank you. I'm not talking about a thank you. It's a rule in Judaism.
Right, you make the
You bless before you do it.
What about when you make challah?
Allah Prashat Hala. When do you bless it?
After the door is made, no?
After the dough was made, but you weren't mafresh it yet.
It's a facade. We make the facade, we make the do the facade viola.
It's a rule. Okay, let's read this one thing, okay? You gotta do the beracha before the lighting. And you're gonna tell me, no, because when you light the candles, you accept the Shabbat. So what? In Haisha Mikabel Shabbat beracha. She's not accepting Shabbat with the blessing. Even if you hold, it's the Shabbat starts with the lighting. It's not till all the lighting is over. Even if you hold that, but that's not even so clear. That's when Shabbat starts. Every mitzvah, you make a beracha before the thing. Before. And says the Rambam. Rambam says straight out. You make the beracha before the lighting. And says the Rabaya, and the Mordechai, and the Ozarua, and the Sefer Pardes, and the Sefer Batim, and the Shibur Leket, and the Rambam says, that Rambam, im birecha harasiyatan beracha lebatalahi. Rambam says, if you made the beracha after you lit, you made a blessing in vain. Took Hashem's name in vain. Shame on them. The Yemenites are supposed to follow Rambam. What's going on over here? Therefore, if a woman blesses after the candles, you're getting into very, very shaky territory. And even though Ashkenazim, they do it afterwards because the Rama says, Sfaradim do it before.
How could you say that when Benishai said that the minhag is this? I always have trouble with this.
Yeah, very good. I don't know. This that we see in so many communities, maybe like the Benishai, this that we say a lot of Sfaradim do this. They're being influenced by the Ashkenazi rabbis. It's not good to teach people, sephardic people, not like Shulchan Aruch. Take the earlier custom. What's the best thing to do? Tonight. Make it tonight if you want to. Make a condition once every year. Rosh Hashanah. I'm not accepting Shabbat with the blessing. If you're worried about that.
Isn't it the halakha that she makes it tonight that she don't accept Shabbat until her husband says?
My mom used to do this every week. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Let's finish this halakha. Then it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you're a man, for sure you're okay. No man is accepting Shabbat when the candles are lit. You're driving to shul. Doesn't matter. Even according to the Bahag, who holds that the candles bring in Shabbat, in Kabbalat Shabbat Tiliyah b'beracha, the beracha doesn't bring in Shabbat. If you hold like the Bahag, which not everyone holds. That's what I'm doing right now. Look at this. You need to teach this in a shiur to people. Teach the people. Don't change from the sephardic way. You should listen to us and enjoy. 3 more halachot and then we're done.
So you can, the wife can light and get in the car and go to.
Yes. And if she's worried about this, make it tonight, once a year. I am not accepting Shabbat this entire year until Shabbat comes in. That's it.
That's a total misconception.
Not Sephardic.
Light candles, Shabbat is it?
No.
If it's next, you would have to know.
Afilu isha. Let's do 3 more because people want to go. Afilu isha shenahaga lebarech b'chata halakat nora halaka. If your wife, her whole life is blessing after the candles. She learned this in school. Well, that's what her parents did. She must nullify her custom. This is not easy.
That's what Chabad is all about. Turning people to the
Yeah, what is it called? מחזיר עטרה ליושנה. ולנהוג לברך תמיד קודם ההדלקה, בין בשבת, בין ביום טוב, always. ואין לחוש בזה למה שבטל את מנהג הוריה. Stop worrying about what your parents did, is what that says. 2 more. אישה ספרדיה, שהדליקה נרות לכבוד שבת. A Sephardic woman who lit candles, ושכחה לברך על ההדלקה קודם ההדלקה. I forgot to make the ברכה. My husband came home from the shiur and told me from now on, bless before the lighting. I forgot. I lit. Should I bless now? No. Illa lebarech le'achar ha'adlaka. Don't bless after you lit. It's maybe beracha lebatala. Don't do it. Even b'di avad. The Chetehillah, this next one I'm going to sum up because I want to go fast. Don't say le'alik ner Shabbat kodesh. No one put the word kodesh in here. It's just Shabbat. Last one. Yesh omrim. I hope you guys come back next week. Yes, you're going to have problems with the wives. Yes, no, bring it home to the wives if they read. Yes, omrim. Okay, guys, last one. Ready? Yes, omrim shekivan shehadlika ha'isha nirot Shabbat. Some people say since the woman lit candles, hal aleha tosefet Shabbat mehodala kodesh. That's it. She accepted Shabbat with the candles. Uchilu kibla aleha Shabbat. Now she can't do anything else because she lit the candles. Now I can't eat, I can't drink no kiddush. לפיכך נוהגו קצת נשים שאחר שברכו אינן מכבות את הפגרוד, את הגפרוד שבידן. גפרוד. And therefore, like the Ben Ish Chai said, some people are afraid to put the match out. Oh, no, I accept the Shabbat. No, stop it. ויש מחמירים עוד שאין האישה מתפללת מנחה אחת לקטנות שבת. Some people say, oh, I can't pray minha anymore. I lit Shabbat. That means I accept the Shabbat. How can I pray minha of a weekday? No. Ulam. Da'at Rabba Poskim, the opinion of most of the Poskim, Umaran Shulchan Aruch she'en kabbalat Shabbat tiluya behadlaka klal. Lighting candles has nothing to do with bringing Shabbat in. V'lachen, ha'isha muteret ba'asat melacha. She could light and do whatever she wants. Te'ima, she can eat, she can drink, she can pray mincha, as long as it's not Shabbat time. V'chein ikal lehalakha. Let me just finish this, yeah? Nachon, it's good she should make this tonight that she doesn't want to accept Shabbat with the candles if she's worried about it. Say it once a year. Okay. Should we skip the rest?
But isn't it, I mean, even though it's loud, isn't it a more
it's nice,
pleasant thing to say, okay, now I've accepted Shabbat.
Yes, it's nice too, but we have 10? רבי חננה בן הקדושה אומר, ועשה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות ארץ ישראל לפיכך כתבה עליהם, פרמס כמו שנאמר, אדוני חפש למען